on a gay cruise.
No, you're 120% dick pic.
Everybody that age, they're sperminator.
Yeah.
We don't care about anything else. We're a walking hard on looking for a hole.
That's. I have to say you're right on that one. Oh my God.
A stiff breeze comes through the room and you return the favor.
Gonorrhea. No. Somewhere on the outside of this building, there is a hole where squirrels come in.
Better than a hole where dicks come in.
Yeah, better than that.
Going down the stairs to wash the laundry. What the hell? Shh. Pizza. Stop it now. I order you to stop. I'm still touching myself.
Yeah.
All young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge they phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I think washing they pussy in the sink is my favorite part. The Vietnamese trade in dongs. Figuratively and literally, I'm sure.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I did decide to look it up. 500,000 dongs is a good night for Pop's ex.
Like most women, he's an emotional thinker.
Good God.
I mean, that's part of the problem we're having now in our society is we have a bunch of emotional thinkers that want the world to, to fall in line with their emotions. It's not. Look, reality doesn't give a shit about emotions.
It's my lived truth. Fuck your lived truth.
No, it's not. It's your perspective.
Kiss my ass.
Literally like, hey, Sergeant Pop, you got to turn your bear suit. I'm like, over my dead body. No. Just give me a statement of charges. Yeah. You're never getting this back. Yeah. You can suck it.
I'm going to wear this with my Russian coat.
you will bury me in this. Hey! Why you gotta fucking be like that, man?
Because I'm an asshole, and I learned from the best. I'm sitting across from him, and I'm pointing at you with all four fingers.
All right, first of all, the Russian jacket is World War II surplus.
I'll send you a picture of it, Sarge.
Yeah, okay. I
got you standing wearing it with holding two giant buckets like you just collected all the chum from behind the dump dumpster at the bar, and you're going to go home and make ice cream out of it. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Grunt Speak.
Live from the lair.
I'm your anchor, Carlos Spicy Wiener. Sitting across from me over there is my co-anchor, Slab Rocksteak, and of course, the AVN's newest gay newcomer, Creamy Clam Chowder. How you doing, Creamy?
Pretty fucking straight. How you doing?
All right.
I'm not sure anybody's buying that one.
Aw, damn.
Welcome to Thought Thursday.
All right.
There's never a lack of things to talk about here on Thought Thursday, and I've got a bunch of headlines all lined up, and actually a charity shout out. So we'll just dive right in, kind of like your mom's muff.
All right, now first of all, this guy here, this charity shout out is
This is Iron Riddle's daughter.
Yeah, he's a big contributor to the channel, and she's homeless.
He's got his own playlist on the archive channel, if that gives you any idea. Yeah, she is currently homeless. 22-year-old daughter has found herself homeless. Her mother attacked her and was put in jail. This is leaving my daughter without a place to live near her work. She doesn't drive and is going through some hard times. I'm looking to get enough money to cover her rent for 12 months so she can get back on her feet. If you go to redonkulas.com and click on the videos link, it'll take you to this page here with the Corn Stars Unite page. The link is right here at the top, and I'm going to paste it right in here. It'll show up in the chats on YouTube and Twitch. I think X as well. It'll probably pop through to that also. So if anybody wants to check that out.
All right.
I'll try to get it in the other chats as soon as I can here. Actually, I've got the link right here. Always helpful to have that. So here it comes in the MGTOW chat. Hopefully it doesn't freeze the entire screen. Not like that's happened before or anything.
Yeah.
Odyssey, and here comes in the rumblies and the tumblies. Boom. All right.
Yeah, MGTOW has been jacked up on and off for a couple years.
A little bit.
It's because it's custom.
True story.
It's not pre-built. So
it's kind of cannibalized from a bunch of other stuff.
Look, Amir built it himself, man. So
yes, he did. I forgot to announce this last week because I'm dumb. But if you click on Fourth Wall and you go here and click on All Products, we do have a new design courtesy of Billy Von Baum. There it is, Patriotic Pop, just in time for the election. Got some stickers, some thermal tumblers, a rocks glass there, coffee mugs, laptop sleeve, pint glass, koozie and mouse pad, even a shoit. And of course, don't forget your Dave's Crayons pint glass, because crayons are delicious and nutritious. And last I checked, they do not taste like chicken.
They're great. They're fucking amazing.
They're great.
They're great.
I live a simple life.
Yes.
It's all good.
And for those of y'all wondering, if it pops up in your chat, the Stream Elements thing, even though the link doesn't technically take you to Fourth Wall, it'll redirect there. So if you want to click on it in the chat, it will take you to it. Just so you know.
All right.
All right.
Man, we have so much craziness happening in the world today.
And those are just the headlines, not even the stories that you guys have sent in that we're going to get to later.
Yeah, like Steve and I mean, there's so much shit going on, we can't even keep up. We're trying to cover current events on Tuesdays.
Yeah, current events.
Wow.
Well, that's to the point, like I had to take at least a few current events and kind of shoehorn them in here. And with that being said, how about this week in Whammon?
So if you've been hurt and it hurts real bad, or if you have feelings that are making you sad, then it's okay. It's okay to cry.
We're going to start with what I think is probably the best epic troll operation of 2024, at least so far. We have a couple months left. This is a #1 best-selling book on Amazon, and its pages are blank. The book is called The Achievements of Kamala Harris.
Serious.
Yes.
You want to talk about trolling the country?
Just imagine the royalties that this dude is going to make for basically designing a cover and stuffing it with blank pages.
I wish I thought of it.
Me too. It's quite epic. Anybody else out there thinking of buying it and sending it to their friends who are actually considering voting for this can't understand normal thinker?
Hilarious.
They do exist. Those people exist.
Oh, I know. I was telling Pop the other day, I was driving out to Ann Arbor to drop off at a hard drive at one of my editor's houses because I happened to be in the neighborhood. And I felt like I had just lapsed into the hell of mental retardation.
It's fucking weird. Like, some people can, like, afford to live in that delusion, I guess.
Well, I went driving down this road, and I shit you not, I drove by this one specific house. The entire lawn was littered with Harris signs, at least 20 of these things, and there were full-size banners draped across their porch.
Well,
Tell me you're brainwashed without admitting that you're brainwashed.
Now, listen, you're talking about what's around U of M, right?
Yeah.
That's
it's
exactly.
The
That whole-
universities have been a hub for this craziness for decades. It's
Sure.
it's not a surprise here.
They're all communists.
Yeah.
They're all communists.
I was like, I got airdropped into Short Bus the movie. Like, it was bad. It was really bad. I remember I drove by. I was like, eh? And then I felt something leaking out of my ear. I looked, and it was my brain cells just leaking out.
Is there an
Right.
actual movie called Short Bus the movie?
There probably is.
We should make that movie.
It may already exist. You know what? Let's check it out. IMDb exists for a reason. Short Bus the movie. Oh no! Oh, this is that one movie with where the people fuck for real. Yes, I've heard about this.
But it's not Short Bus the movie.
It's
Short
literally
Bus.
it's called Short Bus.
Yeah.
Isn't it like a spoof of Bang Bus?
No.
It very well may be, considering the stuff that I have heard about it.
We should get a hold of the guy who makes those other movies.
What other movies?
Remember we did a couple cameos for him before.
Oh yeah, Brett.
Yeah.
Brett's the man.
Let's see if he wants to make Short Bus the movie.
Short Bus the movie, starring AOC as the Short Bus, because you can fit that many inside. Or maybe it should be Pool Time Pelosi. I don't know.
Dude, if we get a bunch of actors to play retarded and we play the sympathy card and then go see Gretchen Whitmer and go to DC and
Well, I know
go
who should
talk
star.
to
We know who should star in the movie, right?
Yeah. Ah.
Now I can look. Okay.
But wouldn't that be hilarious?
It would be. Yeah.
Dude,
I'd watch
we
it.
would go to jail, but it'd be worth it.
And there'd
But
be
not
that
for
one.
a long time.
There'd be that one guy on the back of the bus next to Rosa Parks chewing on crayons.
Like literally all the media would be like, those guys made fun of retards. And,
Dude,
like,
we'd get people to bail us out. We'd be all right.
It'd be
I,
fine.
Maybe a
I
month.
can imagine getting
Maybe a month.
scolded at some Senate committee, and
Yeah.
I'd be like,
You know, it is what it is. It's a little community service.
seemed like the thing to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
You know,
But
trash, pick up trash for a couple weeks.
it's okay as long as we learn the invaluable lesson that diversity is our strength.
Right? Wrong.
They sure as hell found out in New Zealand.
Yeah, that's a good one.
$100 million Navy ship with a lesbian captain runs aground, catches fire, and sinks.
All right, now when I first saw this headline a couple days ago, I thought it said Lebanese captain. And I'm like,
That's the dyslexia.
yeah.
system.
And then, I was talking to Steve, and he's like, no, it's a lesbian captain. I'm like, really?
It all makes sense now. It's
I'm like, that's even funnier and worse.
They were aiming for the garlic sauce and missed.
Listen, man, even my own dyslexicist cracks me up sometimes, man.
So this is why you're Slab Rocksteak and I'm Carlos Spicy Wiener.
That's
all right?
fine.
I'm
That
just saying. This is quite horrendous. A total loss. It leaves the Royal New Zealand Navy with just 5 fully operational ships. Yes, this lesbian, in her literal first command, took out 20% of New Zealand's Navy.
Yes. Wow.
Well, if you're gonna make a mark, you might as well make it big, right?
And Joker already ripped this story apart, but wow.
Oh, it's hilarious. I mean, we had to at least discuss it because you know that if we didn't bring it up, there was going to be a super chat saying, "Did you hear about the lesbian Navy, bitch?"
Well, first, all right, let's just be honest here, okay? This is a diversity hire.
Yes,
There's-
absolutely.
They
1,000%.
literally picked her for command because she likes the horizontal liver licking thing. Got it. Whatever.
Imagine that horizontal smile in somebody's vertical.
Yeah, but what you do behind your closed doors is nobody's business. But you shouldn't be picked for jobs, especially critical jobs like this, based on that. That is so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out great for the White House press secretary, right?
Ouch.
Right?
Good, but he's not lying.
No, I mean,
I'm just.
which one was the?
You can kind of go with both of them.
Is the current one lesbian?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She was literally picked because she's a
Yeah.
black lesbian.
Okay,
A
I
liberal.
didn't know that. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh,
Well-
she can hamster and gaslight. Like I gotta admit, she's good. I mean, she's a terrible person.
Oh,
Terrible.
she can't field even remote questions. Like she stormed out on Peter Ducey the other day for bringing up the Lebanese money.
Well, here's the thing.
Or the Lebanon, but it's like, oh, we're going to send $100 million to Lebanon, but
what
these people in our
about
own country
here?
who are experiencing disasters that may or may not be caused by our own government.
No, it probably is.
But here's the thing.
$750. Have
You
fun.
cannot gaslight the truth.
Mm-mm.
She had no choice but to leave.
Yep.
And she made a couple of, well, yes, the way you're phrasing it is false information. What?
No.
No. It's
No.
like, I'm telling you the facts that the numbers are like really right there on the White House.
But isn't that their playbook? Even when
Yeah.
confronted with the evidence, keep denying.
Of course.
Well, I mean, it works in the Army. Admit nothing, deny everything, and always have a counter accusation. But
That seems to be the way of things.
that was actually, E4 Mafia 101. When they prick your finger, you have to say you got to say the phrase so you can get into the club.
There are 4 lights. Like
Admit nothing, deny everything, and always
okay.
make counter accusation.
as long as they're pricking your finger and not fingering your prick, you're okay.
The sergeant kicks the door open, starts yelling. You're like, wasn't me. It was somebody else down the hall. I have no idea.
I have
And
no
you have to keep the
idea
straight face.
what you're talking about. This is unacceptable.
Yeah. Oh my lord.
This next one here, or should I say, but this next one here may be my favorite tonight because I didn't know that you taught school in drag in Colorado.
No, it's not me.
Teachers and parents defend Boulder teacher accused of drawing penises on papers in yearbooks.
You know what? When I was in college, I used to do that on books in the library. Before I turn them in, I'm like, hang on a minute.
Disregard the penis in the corner.
I'd
ladies
open
and
up the
germs.
random page, go to the upper right corner. Turn
This
it
is
in.
hilarious.
Savage.
Colleagues and parents wrote letters and spoke at Tuesday's Boulder Valley School Board meeting to defend Fairview High School teacher Rebecca Roetto, who Boulder Valley Superintendent Rob Anderson has recommended for dismissal. According to a district memo, Roetto drew cartoon penises on student papers and in a student's yearbook in May. She's been employed in the district since 2003, taught wellness in action, yoga, and bowling classes last school year at Fairview, as well as running the Adelante program.
All right, this is all right. If all she's doing is drawing penises, she's been there for over 20 years.
I've got tenure. She's like,
It's not a tenure.
She's
thing.
hitting that period.
If she's a good teacher and
Yeah.
she teaches good stuff, I can easily overlook this.
Oh yeah, a lot of students have come out in defense of her. One in particular here, now a sophomore at University of Colorado, said at Tuesday's meeting that Roetto supported her when another teacher discriminated against her and helped her apply for college.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well,
Was it in jest? Like, I mean, was it in
who cares?
return?
It's just fucking around. It's just harmless pranks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times? I mean, if you could have lost your, rank for drawing penises, I mean, that would have been a bit egregious.
Yeah.
Correct?
Well, I mean, I got 2 Article 15s, but it wasn't for drawing penises. No, I
got
had
an Article 69 for drawing penises.
no. Yeah, that LT was pissed at me. He knew it was me, but he couldn't prove it. And he didn't find out till years later when I was at his retirement.
And then he was like,
Well, he was at Eastern and he was running the ROTC.
Yeah.
And he was retiring. And I went and talked to the sergeant major and I told him the backstory. He's like, really? I go, before when he's giving his speech in the background, I want you to put this picture of a penis up on the whiteboard. He's like, okay. So everyone starts laughing when it comes on and he's looking around
Disregard the penis.
and he looks over his shoulder and he sees it. And then I stand up in the auditorium and he's like, I knew it was you. And then we got so fucking drunk.
Well, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, but here's the thing about
He finally figured out he wasn't insane.
well, no, like the school thing. All right. So when I was going to school, I had 2 different guidance counselors. I had guidance counselor douchebag who basically looked me in the face in freshman, sophomore, and the beginning of my junior year and said, Pop, college isn't for everyone. And then we got a new counselor, Mr. Honkla, who was gayer than a $3 bill.
Honkla?
Yeah, that's his name, Honkla. But he was such a good guidance counselor because I told him that. I went to the first meeting with him. I'm like, yeah, they told me I wasn't college material. He goes, who the fuck said that? And I go, well, the guy who used to be in your seat goes, fuck that guy, not in the gay way. And I'm like, okay, this really got weird.
Fuck that guy, not in the gay way.
But yeah, I mean, he was a good guidance counselor, and yeah, he was gay. I don't care.
I'm still trying to mull over the realization of a Peter Puffer named Honkla.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He was a good teacher, man.
I'm sure he was a good teacher.
Uh-huh.
Honkla. Just sounds.
I just don't want to see somebody get like. They're just doing it in good, clean fun.
Oh yeah.
And
somebody
they're
get
gonna
fucked for no
fired
reason.
after 2 decades on the job. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
I mean, it's not like it's a person putting on a drag and like grooming kids at the library. That is
wearing like the double J fake tits and trying to teach shop class.
Yeah, and people aren't getting fired for that, but
Come
she
on.
drew some penises on some books. So what?
Well, apparently there's no sexual reference to the drags. It's just a lifestyle that you should embrace.
I don't know, man.
Didn't Battle Dwarf get a penis drawn on the side of his fucking car the other day, and he like drove all around with it?
He did. I have the text of it.
So do I.
So.
Gee, I wonder who did that. It's not like I recognized the work or anything. It's like
I'm sorry, it had to happen, man. I couldn't stop myself. Bad Papa's like,
I couldn't stop myself.
You know what would make this door look better?
A big old cock
penis
on it. Get that Brad Pitt clip from Fight
drove
Club.
around on it all day, and then all the next day, and then he finally saw it.
Harsh, man. It's so harsh.
What cracked me up wasn't so much the cock on the side of the car; it was the dribbles that you drew like, coming out, like it had just recently filled up the lock on his door.
I'm sorry, Steve. It had to happen.
Big old cock for your Battle Dwarf rot slot.
I can't help it, man.
It's funny.
It had to happen.
But speaking of rot slots, this has to be one of the funniest things that I have heard of in a long time because I don't know about you, but I tend not to go to Hooters for my political leanings. Corn Stars launch campaign against Project 2025 targeting swing states. Almost like Trump hasn't completely disavowed Project 2025 because it comes from the Heritage Foundation and not the Trump campaign.
What else did they come up with?
Oh, I mean, the leftoids, they have no platform. So they're either stealing Trump's homework like Kamala did with the no taxes on tips and all this other bullshit. And then, now, it's Project 2025. And like they're still parroting it. If they're parroting it, it's debunked.
Yeah.
Like it's already been debunked 6 ways from Sunday. This has been debunked more than unicorns.
Now, I've actually perused Project 25, whatever you want to call it. And there's some stuff in there that I would like to see.
It's not all that bad.
It's
not all that bad.
Some of it's egregious.
Yes, it is.
But some of it kind of puts things back in a balance where it needs to be.
Yes.
Correct.
And I'm just like...
And you don't need a lot of these federal institutions. You don't need them. You don't need the Department of Education. You don't need the Department of Health and Human Services and all that. You got fucking 50 of them. Pardon my language. I'm sorry, but you got 50 of them throughout the country. Let every state have them. Most of them should be down in the county anyway.
Damn right.
So
most of the laws that affect us on the daily are not even federal.
It's just counties. Pay attention to your local stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry for the rant.
Listen, man, with all of that craziness going on, we need to actually, in the future, probably the near future, see if we can get us to actually revamp a lot of these federal laws that have been on the books forever.
How about we take care of the fact that 90% of the taxes we pay have been instituted in the last 70 years. I would say that'd be another good place to start.
Yeah.
All illegally.
Yes.
Correct.
I don't even believe the IRS was the act itself was never fully ratified.
No, it wasn't. There is literally no law on the books whatsoever that says you have to pay income tax. It's literally a blackmail operation. You either pay or we'll send a SWAT team to your house.
Yeah. Well,
You have when you don't pay taxes, you have broken no law, but they will still treat you as if you have. That is the definition of mob behavior.
Correct.
That's mafia behavior.
Like extortion, racket.
Yes, extortion, racketeering, suck my dick.
there's a lot of shit that it just has to change. I mean, this prison industrial complex horse shit needs to be revamped.
Yep.
We shouldn't have private companies running prisons. All right, that's a no.
We shouldn't have Kamala Harris running prisons either.
Yeah,
And you shouldn't have them allowed to be investing in their growth.
well, there's a whole.
You shouldn't even be wanting growth.
Well, listen, there's a whole bunch of people in prison who are there for victimless crimes.
Yes.
That shouldn't fucking be there. And there's people. Okay, yeah, they fucked up a couple times, and then 15 years later or so, they get in some other, non-victim kind of, and they make it a felony and throw him in prison for the rest of his life.
I'm more afraid not of the guy who might have he might do something once or twice stupid, goes to jail forever, but the people out here do white collar victimless crime that put people in bankruptcy and leave them homeless and shit like that. Nothing fucking happens to these people.
Like I would say, we should revamp the whole thing. Yes, you did victimless white collar crime and a bunch of people were made homeless or whatever, then we just break your fucking legs.
There should be some consequence.
Yes.
I'm just saying I'm just saying there should be a consequence or two.
Yes.
You can't go 20 years fucking, committing fraud and call it a tax break. I'm just saying.
Most people call it child support.
But the thing is, if you're doing fraud,
well played, sir.
If you're doing fraud and you're causing people to go bankrupt, that's not a victimless crime.
No.
Fair enough.
I'm talking like the guy who had one too many marijuana plants before it was legal here in Michigan.
Oh, that's interesting. The people who've gone away, even in the 2000s, who are doing 10, 20-year sentences, they're coming out to pot shops.
Yeah. So sometimes
I'd be pissed off too.
Sometimes some of these people are in for life. And
they haven't
had their sentences, commuted because it's basically legal in a lot of states now. And now they're talking about at least, if not outright legalizing it, making pot category 3 or schedule 3, whatever they call it, so that it's no longer top tier.
One of my former soldiers, his father was a big marijuana runner between Mexico and the United States.
Yeah.
And they came in, leaned on him, and he wound up going to jail for 2.5 years. And the one, you want to know who helped that happen? Colonel Dina.
Of course.
That was such a fucking clusterfuck. That's a whole. I think Steve and I are going to cover that at some point in the future.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting to hear. Kind of sounds a little fucked up.
Well, we're going to do a show where, the military has been throwing people out for years for bullshit, and now they can't recruit anybody because the word is out.
Yep. But speaking of black male operations, let's get back to the porn stars. Get back in here. Concerned with provisions of Project 2025 that could criminalize corn, a group of corn stars is jumping into the 2024 election launching "Hands Off My Corn" and purchasing $100,000 in ads in swing states to spread their message. I don't think you need to purchase ads to spread any more than you already do.
Well, $100,000 in ads in election season is
nothing.
It's Jack and shit Jack
town
after he came all over your face.
We must fight back against this ultra-conservative agenda that's rooted in religious conservatism.
We need more of that, to be honest with you.
You don't have to sell me on it. I mean, come on.
Fear-mongering and the suppression of women's rights.
No, you're talking about the modern Democratic Party.
All right, now
actually,
they're saying suppression of women's rights, meaning we don't want you to murder children in utero.
If you take religious conservatism and change it to fanaticism, and then you have the fear-mongering and the suppression of women's rights, you have the modern left.
Correct.
Pretty much.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Because I remember this whole abortion thing when I was younger, and it it wasn't as big of a deal as it is now. But now we've gotten to the point where we've watched the mission creep to the point where we had several states arguing about, if the child is born.
The Ralph Northams of.
We'll let it be comfortable and we'll have a conversation.
What a piece of shit.
All right,
what does that even mean?
That means to kill it after the fact.
I know, but fucking say it. If your practice is okay, just say it.
This is going to sound really crazy here, but I actually a few years ago saw a video of these late-term abortions. It
It's
is straight
nothing
up
you ever want
murder.
to see.
It was nothing but murder.
Yep.
Right. Because the baby, you could have just delivered it and it would live outside the mother, but they murdered it in there, cut it up, and took it out by pieces. And then after the fact, I've heard other reports, they sell said pieces for a profit.
Yes. And it was a guy in California who exposed that fact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that's illegal as hell. He's the one who's getting sent to fucking, like, brought up on charges. And who was responsible for doing that? Come swallow a heels up, pull my hairs.
Because no good deed is going to go unpunished when you're living around evil.
Ugh.
Because that's fucking evil.
Yeah.
If you're going to engage in trafficking of fucking baby body parts, how has that even become an argument of women's rights?
Yeah, and
This
not
is
to
evil.
mention, after what happened in 2020 and 2021, if you were in favor of poke mandates and said that vaccine passports, no less, if you're in favor of all that, and now you claim to be worried about bodily autonomy,
right?
You sold yourself up the river,
and you want vaccine passports but not voter ID. Do us all a favor. Pull your lip over your head and swallow.
Sterilize yourself.
Which is what your mom should have done, so she could spare the rest of us this fucking pain, okay, of having to listen to you idiots. I'm just saying. Back to the article.
Sorry.
We appreciate it, though.
20 corn stars came together to found Hands Off My Corn and are placing ads on sites that show explicit content in Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, North Carolina, and Michigan, warning users about Project 2025's drive to criminalize corn. Well, you know that in a lot of these states, there are a lot of laws that are still on the books. Michigan is one of them. It's actually illegal to produce corn here. Not what you eat. Well, maybe it is, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, case in point, there are laws on the books that have been there for quite some time that are not being enforced.
Yep.
That need to be taken off the books.
Shit, man. Depending on how far left of a shithole you live in, laws that used to be enforced are now no longer being enforced, like murder, robbery. Yeah, murder, Murray Dar. It's Abby Normal. Okay.
Aberray.
Epar. Rapé. Rapé sounds like something you would scoop onto ice cream.
Assault.
Assault.
That's a good one.
And his brother Battery.
Yes.
Nice.
So going on, Battery. What you doing? Missed you. Bastard. I mean, my gosh. And I love how they wait until like way down near the bottom to finally admit what we all already know. Trump has distanced himself from Project 2025, saying he had nothing to do with it. And I love it. However, many of the authors of Project 2025's blueprint for a conservative administration in 2025 are former Trump appointees or allies.
Like he has any control over people that used to work for him. And allies. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Is that somebody who has a Trump sign in their front yard? I mean, get the hell out of here.
Kiss my grits, nooch. Come on. This is how pathetic it is.
Yeah.
This is how you know they are desperate.
Well, first of all,
these are not people acting from a position of confidence and strength. These are cowards who are piss scared that he's going to get back in there and break the toys because he's not going to have anything left to lose.
Well, I watched the the interview that Kamala did.
Come swallow.
And she again answers nothing.
Of course not.
Literally, she just
you talk about the
around.
60 Minutes one on TV.
I was like, what the hell?
Shit, man. There was one of her answers on Israel was apparently so bad that they had to repurpose another answer and they edited it. Unfortunately, they were stupid and didn't change the transcript, so people were able to pick up on that pretty fucking quick.
Well, when was the last time a woman's ever answered a man directly, honestly?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
I've had a couple in the Army that were just look you in the face and tell you how it is, which I appreciated.
Wow,
but most of the time they do the grief grift where they start to cry.
Oh, I hate that shit.
And then they gaslight,
yep.
talk around the subject, and then they do the blame game.
Yeah. If the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, all women's answers are homosexual.
Because when I was in New York, I had an E4, going to be an E5 shortly, who drove an ambulance. She was a lesbian. But
did she sink it and tank 20%
no, but
of the
there's a couple
paramedic
times
supply?
I had to yell at her, and she looked at me and said, "I don't have an excuse, Art." I'm like, okay.
Oh, done.
Listen,
That's awesome.
If you look me in the face when you fuck up and you say, "I have no excuse,"
that's better.
I really can't get mad.
No.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, I was expecting some bullshit. Now I have to change my script. Okay. What did we learn here?
Yeah,
I go right
pretty
to the, instead of getting mad and I just go right to the, what have we learned here? Have we learned a lesson from this?
Learn?
All right, high
Yeah,
five.
literally, because the person's allowing themselves to be teachable at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have no excuse. Okay.
let me teach you.
I've known a lot of
I
ladies
shall teach you.
who needed some coaching in areas.
Yeah.
Catch my drift.
Yeah, I gotcha. But
Just saying.
as a former senior NCO who's used to dealing with the soft shoe, the lying, and the blame game, that's like when I have to yell at you, I'm expecting that because I get that 80% of the time, and then you turn around, make eye contact, and go, "I have no excuse." And then I'm like, oh, it's refreshing.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
it is. It's like somebody just poured cold water down my throat after 40 days in the desert. This is fantastic.
Because you show up, I'm at a 10 in anger, no excuse. I go down to a 6.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
And then it slowly deflates from there.
yeah. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
you fucked up. We'll fix this.
it's accountability. You're expecting
Yeah.
you're expecting a huge battle now. You know you don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
And that's one of the reasons why, like, in my relationships with the thoughts that I have dated in the past, like, a lot of them would come at me all piss and vinegar, and I'd just be like, all right. It was never any fun for them. Like, because I don't like to fight.
Yeah.
And I especially don't like to fight with women because when women want to fight, it's usually for an irrational reason. And when you're irrational, you're stupid. And what do they say about arguing with stupid people? They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. So I just don't engage.
Well, it's kind of like, going to a bar and then having a pudding wrestling contest with the female pudding contest wrestler champion. It's not going to work out.
I mean, it might work out.
No.
You can get a good workout.
No.
Might get to smell the
That
dash.
it doesn't seem like it would work out.
No.
It seems like it'd be bad.
Because they'll beat you with experience, and then you walk out with pudding on your face.
But at least, I mean, might get some ass and boobs in your face covered in pudding. I mean, that's a good day for everybody.
I don't know if my face is an ass and a pudding comes out. I'm gonna have a lot of questions.
Not that kind of pudding.
I'm just saying.
very
Like,
good, as long as it ain't tapioca.
it's like I'm not this into things. I don't know.
She puts her gash in your face. Next thing you know, you got like chunky white stuff. You got no.
I'm just
Disgusting.
curious, like this whole Project 25 thing. Do you think this was orchestrated, maybe done on purpose by the left, kind of like they did the whole Russian?
Well, yeah. I mean, what's
Great
that?
thing.
What's that other? It's a left-wing think tank that they've tried to pass off as a right-wing propaganda machine. I think it's called
Usually.
the Lincoln Foundation. or
I don't
something
think
like
any
that.
of it would happen, even the things that we like, because there's so much money involved in that.
But the thing is, they've gotten away with this when you have the school shooters or the mass
Yeah.
shooters, and they always they're white. But when you
Tim Walz's friends.
look
Yeah.
at the actual poster of all the, I think that was from like 21.
Yeah, one of these
20.
things is not like the other when you look at that.
Yeah, I'm like they're picking and choosing
Of course.
who to put on the right and try to scare everyone.
Well, Pop, you and I both know that when it comes to the left, the only way that they can win their arguments is to straw man or to lurk deliberately and only for the outliers.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm not in any hurry to have kids. Rihanna had a baby at 41. She's a millionaire, and
She
bitch,
can
you're not
afford to
Rihanna.
do that. Yeah, she can afford to do that shit.
Okay, yeah, Cameron Diaz just popped out another kid at like 52. That kid's probably going to be down with every syndrome.
Well, after the
wow.
age of, I believe,
35, I think it is.
44, 43.
After 27, their fertility
Yeah.
starts to dive off a cliff. By
But-
35, it's essentially gone.
Yeah, and it's like I heard like 35 or something is like the number where like you really start looking at like
But-
possible defects.
Well, after 45, it's a 1% chance they'll carry it to term.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
with the injection of multiple
Yeah. You gotta-
embryos.
You got to, that plus the hormones and all the craziness that they have to take on the regular basis. So they're, worn out tobacco purse of a uterus actually hold on to the baby long enough for it to, fall out of the meat suit into the real world and have to deal with this craziness.
Yeah.
But that's the way it goes.
Yeah. They call them geriatric pregnancies for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's not me. That is an official medical term. You don't like it? Too bad, so sad.
Take it up with them.
Yes. Suck a dick. Probably all you're good for once your uterus dries up. Just saying. Keep that mouth moist, ladies.
Ooh, savage.
That's what I do. But you guys want to jump into some stories?
Yeah,
we got some good ones here. We actually have somebody asking for some pretty serious advice here. Goes by the name of Ken, and the subject is legal recourse. Sergeant Pop, team guy here. West Coast Naval Special Warfare Operator, got divorced, like you do, and it wasn't pretty. Been 5 years, but now the ex-wife is making false claims about me to CPS/DCS. Not the first time. Don't know what my options are for recourse or self-defense here. Are there complaints that I can file with my state against her? Are there reports that I can now file with the CPS people about her making false accusations? If so, how much ass pain is involved? Love your channel. You're one of the main reasons that I won in family court the first time around.
Yeah,
50-50 with my sons, no alimony, no child support. No wonder she's pissed.
Fuck yeah.
You, Coltane, and TFM are the main dudes who gave me the tools for victory. What do you got to say?
All right, hang on. All right.
This is your wheelhouse, 1,000%.
All right, the CPS trick. Again, this is covered in Administrative Violence, Divorce, and Custody Edition, and these are done anonymously for a reason by certain individuals. The main reason men have to be anonymous is if you go through a divorce and you, as the father of the children, go above board and report anything to CPS, you will automatically be ignored, or your complaint will be downgraded to the point where they won't even look into it. That's just, I'm sorry, I'm just being honest, straight up discrimination against men. And any dude out there knows I'm speaking the truth, especially when it comes to this kind of craziness. That's why, as a dude, if you want to, play these silly games, you have to do the 3x3 rule and file a minimum of 3 complaints to get any action done. Now, if she is filing these complaints using her name, you can actually, there is legal recourse you can go to. I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm just saying there is legal recourse you can take. Mainly, you can go after her for harassment, and you can get a protection order against her for continuing this craziness. Especially if this is if you've had 2 or 3 CPS investigations and nothing was found, and this keeps happening, then more than likely the CPS people will be on board with bringing some scunion down upon her.
Scunion.
Now, she might be doing this to actually get more time with the kids.
She's doing it to get more money is what she wants.
Well, she could be doing it. Well, she can't get more money unless she gets more time with
exactly. If she gets more time, then she can go back and start, because it's all about the money. We know it says she doesn't care about the kids. She cares about the check.
That's why when she gets the custody, the kids will spend time with the friends, the boyfriends, the grandparents, babysitter. They want to.
All right, now
the diddler boyfriends.
If this is some type of situation between her and you, maybe you could, have a little conversation with her and find out exactly what's going on, and you can grease the skid and make this whole thing go away without having to go through the whole legal ass pain that this will take, because that's very expensive and time consuming.
Just a bit.
All right. Now, if that fails, I advise you to get a protective order against the mother, because if she's willing to do shit like this, there's yet more shit she can do. Make more complaints to other, like the police and what have you. If you have a protection order in place, like a no contact, and she's making complaints to the police or whatever, and they come to talk to you, you have a record. You're like, I have a no contact order. She's out of her goddamn mind. She's making all these complaints. Here you go. Oh, and here are all the investigations that have been done by CPS. This is complete bullshit. And most of the time, if you have that in place and people come to talk to you and you immediately hit them with that, it usually takes it from a 10 to like a 2 or a 3. You can manage a 2 or a 3. 10 gets a little crazy.
Yeah. That goes for looks too.
Yeah. Well, you can always drink it up to a 6 and regret it later.
Yeah, it's a true story. Yeah. It's a technique. It's not the preferred
No.
method.
No.
Ugh.
If you have to drink a 2 up to a 6, how can you walk? Because that's like 12, 16 beers.
Well, that's how most of these like whiny leftoid corn stars got their first job.
I know. Like, I don't know.
And
Steve,
I'm sorry, like if there was ever anything to get me to run in the polar opposite direction of what I was being advised to do, it's getting advised to do it by sex workers.
Yeah.
I can smell the genital warts coming off of this fucking article.
Oh, wow.
this is like 2 months ago. Steve came here on a Tuesday. We usually go get dinner. We're driving down. We turn left at the first street down there. I think it's MacArthur.
Oh, you took him on a date.
No. And he has to pull over because we drove by this ugly woman with like 2 kids. He goes, I can't believe somebody put their penis in there. I just started laughing. I'm like, oh my God. Because literally, he just like pulls over and he's just like, and I'm like, are you all right? He goes, I have to get my composure. I just can't believe somebody put their penis in that.
I think that every
Fucking
time I
great.
go to one of my son's soccer games.
Oh
with
my
all the
God.
parents,
Oh,
that there are a couple. I'm like, whoa.
yeah.
And you know, and my wife will have like dinner with some of these moms. They'll go out and do, because they're all moms. They just need to get out sometimes, have a margarita or whatever. Got it. And then I get the report afterwards. She's bitching about this, their sex life. It doesn't happen, and when it does, it's subpar. I was like, if my wife looked like that, I wouldn't have a sex drive either, and I would want to get it over with as quickly as possible.
Well, we need to have some people that need to have an honest conversation with the women in the Western world.
Yeah.
And the first thing I would tell them is if you want the needle to point north, you need to make the needle on the scale point south.
Yes. If you want the needle to point in whatever direction you want, it requires a little bit of animal magnetism, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
And if you put in zero effort, you can't expect maximum effort in return.
You're not
Most
getting-
aren't open to that constructive criticism.
No.
No.
We all know my favorite Venn diagram, women and accountability. They don't go together.
No,
If you know everything, you can't learn anything.
that's right.
Yep. Believe all women. No thanks. I'm full.
Nah.
We had another story here comes to us from a dude in India who, as we all know, they're basically on the verge of societal collapse thanks to this little thing called effinism, which
Oh
he
my
calls
God.
a pandemic affecting Indian society.
I've
I've heard it's bad there.
I've been tracking this for a while.
Yes. Any place where feminism shows up, civilization dies a slow death shortly thereafter.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
I'm a young Indian male, 24, and I love watching your videos, seeing you explain the destruction of the Western society by this effinist pandemic, whose effects can be seen in India as well. It all started in the early 2000s when women protection laws such as Section 498A of the Indian Penal Code, 1860, now known as Section 85 of the or BNS, meaning the new Indian Penal Code, which came into effect from the 1st of July of 2024. Section 498A was drafted with the intention of protecting wives from being harassed and subjected to cruelty in any way, shape, or form with a 3-year prison sentence. Plus, it was non-bailable, meaning once you're arrested, it becomes difficult to get bail, especially in court. As a result of
Wow.
What the
yeah.
fuck? Whoa!
So now
Do you know what that says?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, if she feels that you're threatening because of your fucking tone, you're going to jail, for 3 years.
no bail.
Jail for 3
no bail.
years.
Wow.
Oh man, I would be jerking off alone
Well,
every
hang on,
day
hang
if I
on.
lived there.
So if you don't bail on the first date, you may not get the chance.
You know it. I see what you did there.
Wow.
I'm just saying. He goes on, as a result of this fucking section of the penal code, more and more modern Indian women started realizing the potential of this to fuck up the lives of their husbands and their in-laws. and extract a hefty sum of money from the husband and his relatives in exchange for ending the criminal case in the name of out-of-court settlements. So let me go into further details about how this fucking law turned into a weapon of extortion through a long example. For example, A, 24-year-old woman gets married to B, who is a software engineer, at the age of 30, earning 1.5 lakh in Indian rupees per month.
I have no idea what that is in American equivalent.
Chat, go to work. Plus, B has a lot of ancestral wealth. In other words, B is a beta male. A and B live in B's house in Bangalore. I see what you did there. The IT hub of India. Bad luck for B. He soon realizes that A keeps on comparing his earnings with other rich dudes, continuously demands expensive items, plus she keeps on nagging him. Less nagging, more gagging, ladies. I'm just saying. Nagging him to kick out his old parents from his house because she can't get along with them. This leads to fertile grounds for marital discord. And when B is finally fed up with A and puts his foot down, saying that he's done with her bullshit, A keeps arguing, then cries, and then leaves for her maternal home in New Delhi where her parents live. Once she reaches her city, she goes to the nearest police station and files a case under 496A section, naming B and every one of his family members, including his sister and aged grandparents, saying that they ill-treated her by slapping her, locking her in a dark storeroom, starving her along with taunts in order to force her to pay up dowry. That can't understand normal thinker files it to turn her husband B into a gimp. Delhi police swings into action, registers the complaint, arrives at the given address along with the Bangalore police to drag B and every one of his relatives unfortunate enough to be in Bangalore.
Wow.
B is shocked to see that his wife did this to him and his family members. Thing is, both the Bangalore and Delhi police officers pressure B to pay up 5 crore Indian rupees to A in order to end this case. You know, we just need regular numbers because I don't understand what some of this means.
Yeah. Listen, I'm honored. I have people from India watching my stuff. I really am.
Yeah.
But
you need to just give us a little bit of a, I guess, an exchange rate so that we can put a.
Well, I mean, I understand this is extortion.
Yes.
But I can't understand to what degree this is without actual equivalents in American money.
One rupee equals 0.012 cents US dollars.
Okay, so what is the LAKH? And that's what I'm looking at here. 1.5 lakh, and then 5 crore Indian rupees. So that's what I'm looking for here.
I think
CRORE.
5 crowns or something.
Possibly. So the police are putting pressure to pay up in order to end the case so that the cops can also have a piece of the pie. Police corruption 101. B and his relatives keep professing their innocence, but to no avail. 3 years pass by, ending in B and his family members being exonerated of the cruelty charge because luckily for them, the high court judge is a logical and fair person, and he dismisses the case due to both lack of evidence and the intent of A, the soon-to-be ex-wife. By the time B and his relatives get acquitted, their reputation, dignity, and liberty have gone down the drain due to the cops dragging them just on the basis of a woman's statement. This threat of instant arrest is the weapon of choice for the modern Indian wifestitute upon failing to turn her hubby into a slave. And that's not all. The moment some high court and Supreme Court judges call out this practice of wifestitutes filing false court cases under this section, we have effeminist harpies like Indira Jaising doing ad hominem attacks on the judges. Not to mention the brainwashing by Indian effeminists telling young girlies that cooking and cleaning for your husband is slavery, while slogging your ass out in a 9-to-5 job for a boss who doesn't give a rat's ass is empowering, along with calling men all kinds of names, drinking, smoking, and wearing short clothes. Plus, our divorce system is as rigged as the Western divorce system. Even if the wifestitute is proved to be guilty of filing false allegations amounting to mental cruelty on the husband, the manginas sitting in the judge's seat will still order the husband to pay alimony. Not to mention interim maintenance. Maintenance is basically a monthly handout which the court orders the husband to hand out to his ex-wife. There are 2 kinds of maintenance, interim and final. Interim maintenance is the monthly handout to the ex-wife, which the husband has to give until the divorce court judge announces the verdict. So you have alimony before alimony, in other words. How lovely, just, and fair. So 1 lakh.
We have something similar here.
We have some math here. So, Dave, if you don't mind running the numbers, one lakh is 10,000 rupees.
Wait, one lakh.
One lakh is 10,000 rupees. So 1.5 lakh. So that's 15,000 rupees, and however much that equates to American dollars. 1 crore, and they were expecting 5 is 10 million rupees.
Ooh, that's big money.
Yeah, so we do that needs so 50 million rupees converted into US dollars.
50 million rupees.
That's
Wow.
That's like 50 G's.
50 million rupees? Who do you think you kidnapped, Chelsea Clinton?
That's insane.
Damn.
And another thing that complicates like the Indian law is they have all of this thousands of years of tradition that is baked into their laws as well. And then you have England that was in charge of India for a while, slapped common law on top of that.
Yeah.
And it is just a huge octopus of craziness that will choke the shit out of you if you get caught in it.
Or to borrow one of our new favorite phrases, you getting butt fucked up the dick hole.
It's about 600,000. 50 million rupee.
$600,000.
$595,000.
534,000.
And from what Lake City W in the chat is saying, the median income in India is only $325 US a month.
Wow.
And these women are using this system to attempt to extort $600,000 US.
$325 is 27,286 rupees.
Correct.
That's a lot.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm going to finish this out here. Holy shit. So that we talked about the two kinds of maintenance, interim and final. Once the judge sets a fixed amount that the husband has to give the wife while announcing the verdict, that is the final maintenance amount, plus child support. But the thing is, the father will not be allowed to meet his kids by his ex-wife, just to break his heart. As soon as more and more Indian men's rights activists and red pill guys increase and spread awareness amongst the young Indian men about this rigged system, they will think twice before marrying.
It's the same. It's just as rigged over here.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what he was saying.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it. This whole, what is it? The Violence Against Women Act.
Yeah.
When did that actually come out? That was a while ago.
The VAWA.
90s, I think.
Yeah, I want to say it was the 90s.
It's like been 30 years, right? And just now.
1994. So it's exactly 30 years.
30 years ago. It's been going on for 30 years. In the past 5 years, the law enforcement is starting to wake up to the fact that women are lying whores.
Yes.
All right. Now, listen, I'm going to be honest. I've talked to, in the past 15 years, thousands of dudes who have gone to jail because the girlfriend or the woman living in the house or the wife called the police, told them, yeah, he hit me. And the cops show up and instantly you're in jail.
Yep.
And most people don't have the money to fight that. So they're like, well, you have to take a plea deal and you're fucked.
Yep. Now they got you.
Yeah.
Now they got you.
I've talked to hundreds of guys who took the plea deal and lost their ability to own guns.
Go your own way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is why I do what I do. I'm going to bring the marriage rates from 5.1 out of 1,000 to 0.0 out of 1,000. I want to bring the marriage rates to 0. Mainly because it's unjust. And shortly after that is I'm tired of burying individuals who get caught up in this craziness and commit suicide over it. Did you know that one of the main reasons this whole no-fault divorce got passed is because women were committing suicide at astonishing rates because they were trapped in these unhappy marriages they could never get out of.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, where's the numbers on that?
But hang on. So we literally are like, oh, we feel sorry for you. We don't want you to commit suicide. We're going to throw it all on the dudes because we don't fucking give a shit about them. They're already subject to the draft, and we could send them overseas into the meat grinder, and no one gives a shit. We don't even have to bring their bodies back.
Nope.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes in the long term.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Without men to keep this civilization going,
so it's over.
It's over.
It's a done deal.
And that's what these WEF asshats did not consider, is that they think that this is what they want, the course that they're leading us all down. No nuclear families, everybody fighting amongst each other, and just bring in all the illegals, all of the people with room temperature IQs. It'll be great. It won't be a problem. We can just pay them pennies on the dollar. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Society will languish and die, and there will be no one to give you the lifestyle that you have become accustomed to, because a bunch of you WEF cucks are nothing more than glorified chicks with dicks.
Wow. Yeah.
Don't forget communists.
That too, which is basically the same thing.
You need to give yourself a thug life for that.
You should.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thug life.
Thug life. There are no chicks with dicks, Johnny. Only guys with tits.
I don't know, man. This whole thing is insane.
It is. It's insane in the membrane.
I would love to have somebody who actually speaks Indian to make recordings of my videos, so people in India could hear the craziness that's going on here in America, and they can understand it in Indian.
Just what we need. Convenience store Americans talking like pop.
I would like to get some guys who can actually do it in Spanish, so the South Americans can hear it.
Very good. Yes. Yes. Don't get butt fucked up the dick hole. It will be very bad for you. I'm just saying. Somebody going to get hurt real bad. That's my first attempt at an Indian. I do what I can, Shit. India has 121 languages. No one can live at that speed. Ain't nobody got time for that.
121 languages. Wow, I didn't know that.
Wow. I thought the Dutch speaking 4 languages and smoking marijuana was a hefty.
It's a stretch.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch, and not the good kind. That you get from dating a gymnast.
I know.
Not that I would know or anything.
I know quite a few Germans who can speak German and French and English. And I asked them, why did you speak French and English? He's like, well, we're going to invade them again. So
we're coming, Canada. We're going to take your beer.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what the German said. He goes, it's just a matter of time. We're going to invade them again. Might as well speak their language.
We need to invade Canada, take their beer, and give them back private health care. Because your socialized bullshit ain't working.
No.
Best we can do is kill you.
Best we can do is kill you. I told you about the kickboxer guy who died a few years back, right?
Which guy?
His name was Thomas Downing.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was a kickboxer, and I used to go over to Windsor and get him ready for fights and stuff. I used to spar with him. And apparently he had some kind of heart issue. I don't know exactly what it was.
And they put him on the death panel.
And he was on the list to get surgery, and he just died at home.
Shocker.
Yeah, it was like an 18th month list or something, wait or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know the exact details. If any of his family hears this, I'm sorry, but that's just what I heard.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a good dude. He was a damn good fighter.
Yeah, well, you tend not to surround yourself with chodes.
No.
Present company excluded.
I mean, he was kind of an arrogant prick, but he was still a good fighter, and he had a sense of honor, so I can get along with him.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Speaking of a sense of honor, if you missed the first part of the stream, don't forget new merch online at Fourth Wall. Got patriotic pop there. Got a rocks glass here. If you guys want more of our designs on the rocks glasses, let me know. I have another design that I just cooked up, which says good ideas don't need censorship. It's going to be posted for the show next week. That's good stuff. That'll be a good one for stickers. So you can post those on all of the Harris signs that you see popping up all over your shithole. Not to be confused of where Pops X likes you to hit it.
You're going to get me sued. Stop it.
I said X. I did not say the withdrawn, indignant, fornicator, entertainer part.
All right.
I'm using your approved lingo. Don't be Abby Normal.
All right. Abby Normal.
I have keys to this house, and I will not call Marie Dar.
All right.
We got some super chats here from Dylan Sharding.
Okay.
You should probably change your underwear then. Spiritual Guru, Section 9. Teach us spiritual warfare. Third book. We need that intel to not die.
The third book is, you're talking about the Jericho Files?
Oh, it's happening. Didn't you say it was going to be released sometime this month or next?
Yeah, we're just. I wrote up the last 2 paragraphs that are going to go on the back of the cover, and it should be done here shortly.
Awesome.
The cover art, I believe, is done.
Cool. 4 books, not bad for a guy who can't even read.
Well, it's yeah. I can read.
You should just change your pen name to the Dyslexorcist and just sign all your books that way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're not wrong.
Pop goes the weasel. Bar One Studios, a recent Michigan ad reply, election integrity. Yeah, sure. This being the Longhouse state, they cover your ass by using knockoff Muppets. Women think they're the only adults in the room. No. They're the only adults in the room at daycare. The rest of the time, they are the daycare.
Well, he's probably making a reference to the fact that most of the women I've run into when I became an adult have this air like you don't know what you're talking about, or you're slow,
and they want to accuse you of mansplaining. But I would rather be a mansplainer than a she-laborator.
Yeah.
Taking 30 minutes to explain a point that takes 15 seconds. I'll take that time back. Thanks.
True intellect comes if you can break it down simplistically.
True story. S43E sent in $50. Thank you very much, good sir. You get the first one of the night.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
He says, Pops, really appreciate the work that you do. Drinks are on me. Thank you very much. I've been promising these 2 dudes burgers at Shenanigans for a little while. Oh, not that Shenanigans. This isn't Super Troopers or Super Poopers if you hang out with Dylan Sharding. I'm just saying, you might want to check your underwear, bro. You and Unchained Skid should start a podcast together. Shits and giggles. Count Chad the Impaler. Western civilization is already dead. Why defend what killed it? Global leftist civilization. Sadly, I have reservations of having served in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, me too.
How it goes, man. What in the butt, bud, baby? We could check out some K-Shabs here as well. I noticed that we had a few of those come in. A big thank you to everybody who's been donating via Cash App. It's the one way that we get all of the donation. YouTube, Rumble, everybody else takes a slice, so we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rusty Shackleford sent in 15. And he says, I've been MIA due to work, but keep up the great work. I was just reading one of your emails earlier today, Rusty. I was trying to figure out where we can fit it in.
That's what she said.
I was waiting for it. That's why I stayed silent. See, we like this. We know stuff. John sent in 10 and says, "Arr, scissor me timber." Woo! I bet she likes to scrape the barnacles off of her own hull. HKC, more cock. All right, your wish is my command.
Oh, God, I hate the screen abuse
so much.
That's just bullshit, man.
Bullshit, man.
That's some bullshit.
You sound like every horror movie I've ever seen where there's like a black dude in the theater. Something scary starts to happen. Oh, that's some bullshit. Every time, without fail. One of my favorite people to watch horror movies with is my buddy Chris, because he'll just be sitting there in the chair, and all of a sudden, you'll just see him go like this. Oh, that's some bullshit. Just jump in your seat and throw some popcorn like the rest of us. Suze McCarley sent in Thoidy and says, hope your birthday was fun, Pop.
It was, thank you.
We got some cake on the way for these gentlemen here, courtesy of the bearer of the chicken and dumpling soup that Jeffrey Paul still has dreams about. He'll wake up touching himself in the middle of the night. I'll make sure you get some more, I promise. Harris sent in 1127. Is there a meaning behind that?
I don't know. I was just thinking that.
Maybe it's like converted down from another currency or something. Because that happens sometimes in like Cash App. And
I don't know.
It could have been a crypto.
Every time I see numbers like that, I think of 38 and 36. Those numbers always pop up.
37? My girlfriend sucked 37 dicks.
In a row?
Try not to suck any dick on the way out.
Hey, you get back here.
That's a great movie.
You want to talk about a dude whose
that's-
career hit the skids, not to be confused with Unchained Skid. Wow. Kevin Smith has become a complete cuck in his old age.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. He had to go on a vegan diet after he had a heart attack, and since then he's become a weepy crybaby bitch. He's one of those dudes. Apparently, he was behind the new He-Man series that's on Netflix, and people fucking hated it. And he took the Disney route of trying to blame the fans for its reception. Like, no, you made shit.
Yeah.
And what happens when people are confronted with shit? They wipe their ass and they flush it,
That's right.
which is what you should have done when you realized it was shit.
Or don't be a vegan.
That too. It makes you weak.
There is
I'm trying to
that.
remember what is the guy? I mean, is it one of?
Kevin Smith, Jay and Silent Bob did
Oh.
Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy.
Oh yeah,
Dog.
the guy.
There's a lot. Yeah, they got a lot of good ones.
Yeah, he's the guy who had the heart attack, right?
Yes.
And he was only what 30 something.
Oh no, he was in his 50s, in like late 40s, early 50s when it happened, because
Okay.
he was 22 when he made Clerks, and that was in 1993.
Okay,
So
Yeah.
he's up there now.
So
he's,
he
a giant-
went,
he's like your age.
Yeah, he's by your age.
he
Yeah.
went full scientist.
Yeah, he went full scientist.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, it's very unfortunate. I will say this though, for people out there who have kids or who just grew up and enjoyed Transformers, I took my boy to see the new one the other night, Transformers 1. Surprisingly pretty damn enjoyable. They got it absolutely right. The humor was good, no woke bullshit, consistent character arcs, motivations with setups and payoffs. I had a great time. My boy wants to go and see it again.
I lost. I've never been a fan of Transformers. So.
Transformers. You an istophobic at pop.
That's right. You got it.
That's it. You don't want to see it because it's Transformers, right?
I didn't even like it as a cartoon when I was a kid. I hated it.
Well, it's cartoon now, and honestly, it works better that way. The live action ones, with the exception of Bumblebee, have all sucked.
Yeah,
suck diarrhea shit from an asshole fountain. It's pretty bad. But hey, good stuff. So if you got kids, or if you just were a fan of Transformers growing up, 2 thumbs up. Check it out. Count Chad the Impaler jumps back in. Joke: 2 deer go into a gay bar. After they leave, one deer says, "I can't believe I blew $50 in there." Nice. All right. You know what? It's about 9:08. I think it's time to take a piss break and head on over to New Tech for some fucked up and funny vids. What do you think?
All right. Yeah.
We're kind of moving right along here tonight. And probably next week, I would have to say, we have a new story sent in by one of our regiment mothers, Raquel. She's a regiment favorite at this point after only a few stories, and this next one is called The Value of Skeletons in Your Closet.
Oh!
I read it this afternoon. It's damn good. I was hoping we'd be able to fit it in tonight, but it's just a little bit too long for that. So next week, get ready for some more Raquel and Calliope. Baby, I mean, we want to hear some stories from you, too.
Yeah, come on, bring it on.
I love it when they try to hide the past.
She messaged me this morning. She's like, I hope you get some tonight after the stream. I was like, I got some last night and this morning. It's fantastic. And she's like, well, maybe I'll get some. I was like, KY to the rescue.
What about baby oil?
That works too.
It does.
Yeah.
You're going to pull a Jeffrey Blackstein on us?
Lubed and scroobed. What are you going to do? I'm airing out my dirty laundry.
We're talking about the diddler.
Jimmy Bones, if you're in the chat, can you please start pasting those links in there? And for those of you who don't know, because I love seeing this in there, what's new tech? Okay. Old tech, or big tech, as it's commonly known, is like YouTube, Facebook, etc. Places that don't look very kindly on free speech and telling the truth. All right, new tech is like Rumble, BitChute, MGTOW.tv, Odyssey. That's where you can continue to watch the stream after we take this next little piss break. We'll see you in about 5 minutes. Enjoy the tunes and follow us on over if you dare.